Hi guys, this is Mr. Mason here. This is my first screencast, so please bear with me as I am just learning. But I thought this would be a good lesson to make a screencast of as we can go through our article of the week, this week, number 4. Instead of doing what I would typically do in class, I thought I could do it via screencast, and we could, you guys could see this at home or in your tutorials, and get the lesson this way, and then we can talk about it, when you're in class. So we'll talk more about the advantages of flipping classrooms and you guys getting some lessons at home in the future. But for right now, let's just get to the material, and we'll try to work through this in the next, I don't know, 8 or 10 minutes. Um, so our article of the week this week is article number 4. We have the invisible bike helmet. I'm certainly not going to read the entire document, but I will read this first paragraph. So for this week's AoW, you will need to look at a visual text instead of a written text. As you take in this video clip, pay particular attention to interesting comments and interesting visuals. If you feel if it may feel awkward to interact with a visual text for a class reading or writing assignment, but trust your instincts. You are constantly reading things around you more often than you realize. Okay, so it's not, basically, to paraphrase, it's not the typical text that we're used to, but video text is something that is certainly not going away, and will be more and more relevant to all of us in the future. So we have a Vimeo link here that you can see, and a bit of a image here. This person is wearing a bike helmet, so that's an interesting image there that you should be thinking about, as well as the title, and you should be making some predictions at this point regarding the link or the video. Excuse me. So right now, hopefully you've already watched the video. I'm going to give you those instructions in class to watch the video, and then print out the hard copy of this sheet here, and then come to the video that I'm making for you right now. So hopefully you've watched the video and read this paragraph, so you have some familiarity or knowledge to go ahead and work through these questions here. As we look, so you've watched the video. Let's make that assumption. If you haven't, go ahead and pause this video now and go watch it. All right. So if we look at number 1, it says, in this video, when one of the inventors says that the invisible bike helmet is a symbol of the impossible, she most nearly means that A, the success of this invention is a possibility down the road. B, the success of this invention is an unattainable, far-fetched dream. C, the success of this invention is real, even though it was believed to be impossible. Or D, the success of this invention provides hope for other people who hope to invent something. Okay, so let's look at these more closely. As we look at A, it says the success of this invention is a possibility down the road. I think it's more than a possibility, knowing that these women actually did invent this bike helmet. So I don't love that one. If we look at B, the success of this invention is unattainable and a far-fetched dream. I mean, I think it's the opposite of that, meaning that it's not unattainable and it's not a dream, and these women did it. If we look at C, the success of this invention is real, even though it was believed to be impossible. I really like that one. As we look at D, the success of this invention provides hope for other people who want to invent something. I do like D. I think that is a message, but the fact that she says it's a symbol of the impossible, and then they actually produce this invention, and they make it real. So I like C as the best answer for that. So hopefully you agreed when you completed it. Let's look at number 2. The overall tone of this passage is excited and hopeful. I would agree with that. Let's see the others. Cautionary and gloomy. Definitely, there's nothing gloomy about the expression on those women's faces and their excitement as they talk about their product. C, interested and concerned. Those aren't two adjectives that came to mind when I watched the video. And scared and curious. There's nothing scared about the women or their outlook. Curious possibly, but definitely not scared. So I would go with A there, and hopefully you did as well. Let's go down to number 3. The director of this video most likely waits to reveal how the helmet works until the end of the video because A, he wants to introduce the women who invented the helmet so the viewer can understand who created the product. Possibly. He wants to build excitement and curiosity for the viewer about how the product works. I like that one a lot. I was actually, as I was watching the video, I was thinking to myself, why aren't they showing it? They're just talking about the invention, and I'm so curious to see this, quote, invisible bike helmet. So let's think about B here. C says he wants to make sure that the video or that the viewer understands how much work the women who invented the helmet put into the process before seeing how it works. That could be a possibility. And D, he wants to manipulate the viewer into thinking how the helmet works a certain way before showing how it actually works. I don't think that they were interested in manipulating the viewer, their thinking or anything like that. I would dump D. C says to make the viewer understand how much work the women had to do. I still think you can talk about how much work they did, while sort of unveiling this very revolutionary invention. I think it's definitely B here. They wanted to build excitement and curiosity. As I was watching, I couldn't wait to get to the end. I was really sort of glued to the video, knowing that they've got to show me what actually happened. So it was definitely an effective use of sort of waiting until the end, at least for me. Okay, so we had C for 1, A for 2, and B for the third. Let's look at the reflections quickly here, and then the post reading, and then that'll conclude the video. So as we look at 1, in the video, one of the female inventors admits that people wonder how women could create something so technical. What is your reaction to this statement? Can you think of any other examples where women have been successful and or powerful in positions or areas they weren't expected to be? So I think these 2 particular women were probably, I don't know if they surprised themselves, but probably people around them were surprised that they didn't fit the mold of the typical sort of engineer or mechanical engineer or any other people in the technical field. I think we typically would think of a male person in that role. Can you think of any other examples where women have been successful or in powerful positions? I mean, as we look at what are called the Fortune 500 companies, which are the most successful companies in our country, I think the number of women running those companies is on the rise. So, in particular in the technical field. So that's how I would answer it. But you need to think about examples where you see women in powerful positions where you typically wouldn't think of a woman in that role. So you may want to choose that one. The second one here, overall the video helps to build excitement and anticipation about the invisible bike helmet. How does the creator of the video help to build the suspense and excitement throughout the video? Do you think the project will be successful? So this number 2 in the reflection topics is similar to the multiple choice that we saw, in that it addresses the anticipation and excitement throughout the video to basically the final 30 seconds where they unveil how the invisible bike helmet works. So the question is, how does the creator of the video build the sense and excitement throughout the video? So you can certainly address that, through the videos and through sort of the dramatizations of the dummies being hit by cars on their bikes. So you may want to talk about those and how the creator built the excitement. In terms of, do you think the project will be successful? Give your honest answer. I mean, there's certainly pros and cons to it. So I'll leave those for you to figure out. Okay. Number 3, biking as a means of transportation in big cities is becoming very popular. Do you agree that the inventor in this video, when she says cars are so yesterday, bikes are the future, why or why not? So as we think about, this is a whole nother topic, but the global urbanization, I think that there's a theory out there that maybe in the next 10 years that 60% of the world's population will live in or near a city, which is very different from 100 years ago and 200 years ago. So as we think about that, people living more closely in an area and more sort of condensed, bikes of the future. So do you agree? Again, there's pros and cons to bikes. Do you think that the pros outweigh the cons? So as always, the why or why not is implied there. In this case, we have it there, but you're always supporting your answer. Here we go. Number 4. This woman in this women in this video might be seen as revolutionary because of the product they've invented. Think about other inventions that have been important during your lifetime. How have these inventions been revolutionary? How have they impacted your life? How would your life be without those inventions you mentioned? So, when you think about the word revolutionary, to me, it's got that root word of revolt, meaning changing. So really game changers. So there's been some very impactful inventions during your lifetime. Think about those and how they impacted your life. Which inventions have been revolutionary and how have they impacted your life? And how would your life be without those inventions? Okay, so think about I'm sure many answers are going to be in the area of technology. With the recent boom of technological advances that have happened in the tech field. Maybe be on the lookout for that. Make sure we're identifying our thesis by underlining it. You can certainly read that on your own. Reminder of reflections. Remember, we're including an introduction, body paragraphs, and a conclusion. In your introduction, mention a specific article by title or source. Include 1 or 2 sentence summary of the main purpose of and idea of the source. You know what, guys? Don't worry about 2. Don't worry about 2. Let's do 3. Let's do 1. Let's really focus on 1 and 3 in this case, okay? If you're other people watching for other classes, not Mr. Mason's, you may have to do 2. But if you're enrolled in Mr. Mason's class, you do not. All right. Hey, let's look quickly at the post reading, and then we will wrap it up. To understand how the helmet actually works, read the blurb below from bustle.com. So I have to admit, when I watched the video, they only spent, I don't know, maybe 10% of the video showing how not even how it works, but just that it works. And I wanted to know more. So I put in my Omnibar, how does the invisible helmet work? And then, as you might imagine, there were links to a number of pages and sites that explained it more. But I was dying to hear more. So the person who came up with this article figured that you kids would want to know more. So you can read that. I will read this last paragraph that I thought was interesting here. It says, still skeptical? I don't know how the pronunciation is for this. Maybe Hovdang? Fulfills all European qualifications for safe bike helmets, and in tests, it proved to have shock absorption 3 times better than that of any of the other 13 helmets. So not only is it is it cosmetic and takes aesthetics into consideration being that it looks nice, it is effective too and passes some